All right, I think I'm just gonna start this and see how it goes. I got one of my favorite games growing up working, and I wanted to share that with you. And that game is Die Hard Arcade. This is for the Sega Saturn, which I never had. I want violence on, man. Heck yeah. I didn't play it much for Saturn, but I played it at the movie theater that was in the Maple Hill Mall called it was like Tilt or Pocket Change. I can't remember which one it was. Um, I played it all the time, and I loved it. Hopefully, this plays a decent clip. I wasn't super good at it, but yeah. So I have the Saturn version here. I could probably see if I can get it working on MAME. It might look better. But this, I wanted a Saturn was on its way out by the time this thing got announced. But yeah, just the movement speed. That's my dog in the corner, by the way. Just the movement speed and just the way it felt was just awesome. When a beat 'em up feels good, that can recover for like a lot of issues. And I did not set up my controls right on this, but we'll do what we can. Um, yeah, and like it's so like barely Die Hard game. I think they got their license at the last minute. The sequel, and this in Japan was called Dynamite Deca, and your guy's name was Bruno, which was funny because I think that's Bruce Willis's like stage name when he goes on the road and like plays harmonica or blues or whatever he actually plays. So this is not playing at the right speed, but it's close enough that I can get into it. And I set up the controls wrong. Just the feel of the guns, like, I mean, she should be dead, but and then you can arrest them. Oh. If you have a gun, you should be able to handcuff them. Oh, well, forget you, lady. And I think it's their expertise with like the virtual fighter things. Like everything feels like sharp. It's like a sharp jab. I'm using my. Oh shoot! What do I gotta do? As QuickTime events. This might have been the first time QuickTime events were a thing. They're in a bunch of stuff now. Spencer, please find a spot to sit. But yeah, there's some glitching, but it's still fun. This is probably where I'd lose my first set of quarters in the game, but I'm 34 now, not 14, so I have additional skills. And this game is moving a lot slower than cheap hit, a lot slower than it used to. Rocket launcher. It's just funny. There's the Dynamite Deck or Dynamite Cop is on Dreamcast. I had that. I think I still have that. It's not the same, just because I don't have the memories of it. It's a better game, and it's still like stupid. The story, like, there's this total Japanese guy, and he has like the CEO's daughter. Forget you. He has the CEO's daughter, and you'll see little cutscenes. I think after this bit, there'll be a cutscene of her like hiding in a desk, and him not noticing it, which is funny. I shouldn't have used that last shot. When you have a gun in this game, you're doing all right. You just gotta not waste them all. Like, I kind of wish they would have done more brawlers like the PlayStation Saturn era. Like, the system could handle this type of game, not like the big stuff they tried to do with it. Like first-person shooters, they were still like a generation off from being able to do those well. But this stuff, I mean, you can do, and they should have done more of it. They should have did Double Dragon. They should have did all of them. So here's our replacement. Like this fell. We're gonna try that again. All right. Sorry about that clang. I see the sound still going. So far, I've been playing this for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't get the sound in this was just generic arcade sound, but the punches and the gunshots sounded really good. But it doesn't seem to be working on this emulator. You can't even aim down, which is kind of silly. So I can't like shoot these guys unless they're on a similar plane to me. Oh man, this speed is so off. I should crank this resolution down. But yeah, it's all right. It might make me better at the game, even though my timing's all off. Nope, that guy's got a gun. Just gotta get that gun out of his hand. I'm actually doing better than I did last night. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in that Tilt arcade. I wasn't very good at video games. I'm still not great at them, but I just play enough to get the muscle memory down. I didn't get very far in this, but I always played this, and I played Dungeons and Dragons, which was like a Capcom game. All right, I think it's a jump. All right, got it. This is stupid because the thing's gonna shoot water the entire time. I wish arcades were still a thing. I wish they were a quarter. I wish. Oh, cheap shots. But it's just cool playing stuff in a public area, and maybe they're coming back with like cyber cafes or whatever those game centers are. There's 2 of them in Kalamazoo, which are kind of neat. But I still think the money is off. I mean, they got to make a living, they got to pay for all their stuff. There's a way to do it. But yeah, the 50 cents a play for this was... you could kind of tell the writing was on the wall for these places, because you could rent a game for $2 or $1 at Fuzzies and not Seago, or you could I mean, you could even buy games starting at $20. Just like now, like the value of games, the prices drop so quick, and they cost a lot more than Die Hard Arcade to make. I just beat The Division. I got to the end game. I don't know if I'll play it much longer. Oh, that's cool. Could have comboed that. But you can only imagine, like, the number of people needed to make that game is, like, tenfold, at least, of what made this game. And this game, it didn't sell as much, but it had an arcade release, it had a console release. This was probably, like, a fifth of the, like, 5% of the cost of something like The Division or a Destiny or something like that. Although you can beat the game in a half hour too, but that was acceptable. And maybe there's a way to make these kind of games. Find a way to rent them to people for like $2 for a weekend. Make it like a social thing. Like put your multiplayer in here. Give it like a common set of multiplayer tools, which exists for fighting games. And like you rent it for a weekend, or it's part of a Netflix style gaming package, which both PlayStation and Xbox have. And this would be a blast to go through with friends. If I had any friends, I'd be playing it with them now. Oh my gosh, what is this, like a mortar? That's funny. Yeah, let's see how you do there. And because you're not spending $1 billion on it, you can put like silly stuff in it. Kind of like where the indie games are coming from. I mean, like Humble Bundle's kind of like that too. You get like a truckload of games for $12 a month. Which, if it was for console, I'm not a big PC guy. So if it was for console, I'd totally do it. Especially because those you can keep forever, not like the games with gold or whatever. It's weird. The cost of development tools is came down to, but yeah, you have so many more people involved. If you just read the credits, they're longer than a movie. Alright, I'm going to have to do something here. Or we're going to cut back to... Oh, I got to do something. I think I'm going to punch. Yep. Boom! Take a nap, lady. That's what you get for wearing a pink jumpsuit. Ah, yes, my favorite part of the Die Hard movies. Spider robots. Alright, let's see if we can pick this thing up. No, no! Alright, I gotta get a weapon. Jump! No, I'm dead. It's further than I got yesterday. Alright, last credit. This guy here, get a gun. Let's get my gun. Nope. This is where they kind of want people to quit playing and put in quarters. I was going to work on a documentary project that I've been working on. It's going well. I'm kind of at a standstill where I'm gonna have to put some more work that takes more than me to do. So it's kind of a part where I'm not as able to truck through as easily, and I'm kind of getting cut off by some of the people I was working with on it. So that's what I'm gonna go back and do now. But this was Die Hard. I played it for 10 minutes, so this would be the equivalent of 50 cents. I hope you enjoyed watching me go through it. Better luck next time, Bruno, and whatever the girl's name is in this game. And I would love to see a Die Hard arcade for every stupid Die Hard movie there is. 5 of these arcade games. It'd be a better world if they were existed. Alright, thank you for watching. I guess this will be on YouTube or something.